I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. For me, the issue isn't really even about Democrats or Republicans anymore. It's just about acting serious, acting like an adult, acting like a professional, and MAGA Republicans are entirely devoid of these qualities. I want to show you Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries calling out these MAGA Republicans for forcing us into a government shutdown because of their radical extremist agenda to attack things that are so important to the American people. Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Play the clip.
And if we find ourselves dealing with an extreme MAGA Republican shutdown, what will it all be for? Well, this week is very revealing because we're considering bills, including the one that is before us right now, that have zero chance of becoming law. Zero chance. And they're filled with extreme policy poison pills relating to things like cutting Social Security, criminalizing abortion care, slashing public school funding, taking food out of the mouths of women, infants, and children, hurting the ability of veterans and seniors to meet and make ends meet. That's why the government will shut down, because extreme MAGA Republicans have determined that you want to try to jam your right-wing ideology down the throats of the American people, and if we don't pay that ransom note, you want to shut the government down.
By the way, compare that to MAGA Republican Bob Good's speech on the House floor, talking about shutting the government down if there's not amendments that will prohibit women from having access to abortion pills. As AOC said, could you imagine if Congress was 72% women and regularly spent their time debating what they should or shouldn't allow men to do? Here's MAGA Republican Bob Good, how he's spending the day. Play the clip.
Instead of making it easier for women to get access to an abortion pill, the FDA should be banning it.
So you have, again, the one hand, Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries talking about important government programs, important things for American people's lives. You've got MAGA Republican Bob Good talking about banning the abortion pill. Here you have MAGA Republican Mary Miller saying that climate change isn't real and that, you don't want to know what the climate change is? It's the seasons. This is what she's saying as our government's about to shut down. Play the clip.
From Illinois is recognized.
With due respect, sir, the farmers in my district recognize climate change as summer, winter, spring, and fall, and we would like the USDA to focus on policies that actually help producers and rural communities. Thank you, and I yield.
Here is MAGA Republican Senator Ron Johnson when he says what we need to do is defund wokeism, defund woke. I mean, he doesn't even know what he's saying. Play this clip.
We need to start much sooner in the process, let's say May, June, July, bring up each individual appropriation bill so they can be scrutinized. Now, that's not a panacea. It's not going to fix the problem, but it's a start at restoring some function to Congress and some needed oversight and scrutiny of these massive spending bills in these departments that we can start defunding things like the wokeism. Start defunding like I say, the dispersing of millions of illegal immigrants across this country because Joe Biden opened up the border.
All right. So again, Democratic leader was focused on delivering important services, doing things for the American people. Bob Good, MAGA Republican, taking away women's freedoms. Mary Miller denying climate change. Ron Johnson, MAGA Republican, talking about whatever the hell wokeism is and you need to defund wokeism. Here's MAGA Republican Nancy Mace just saying what a mess her political party is. The MAGA Republicans are. Play the clip.
This is a huge mess, and here we are at midnight, the night before an exam, and we've just started to study, and there was really no need for this to happen the way that it went down, and I've been frustrated by the process. I thought we would be better than this, and here we are scrambling, and no one knows what's next.
Speaking about a total mess, straight off of whatever was going on, blowing vape smoke in the face of people at public theaters while she's watching Beetlejuice and engage in public sex acts. Here's Lauren Boebert on a despicable anti-trans rant on the House floor, again, using this as a justification to try to shut down our government. Play this clip.
DOD's highest ranking trans official, this delusional man thinking he is a woman, embodies and espouses the wokeism that's causing significant harm to our military readiness and troop morale. The military shouldn't be focused on this woke agenda and combating climate change. And with Mr. Skelly,
as I watch all of that too, this is how extreme MAGA Republicans have turned the Republican Party into. Mitch McConnell, they call a rhino now. They say Mitch McConnell is a Republican in name only. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans say McConnell is like a liberal who works with the Democrats to try to undermine Republican ideology. No, the Republicans have been taken over by MAGA Republican extremism, which is what Hakeem Jeffries said. So even Mitch McConnell, who you'll see this because the Senate passed a bipartisan bill, no thanks to Ron Johnson, but serious senators passed a bipartisan bill like 77-19 or something like that to fund the government with a continuing resolution through November, which MAGA Republicans in the House say is dead on arrival because it includes funding for Ukraine, COVID, and the Department of Justice and FBI. Here's Mitch McConnell sounding reasonable. That's how extreme the Republican Party has gotten. Play the clip.
But these important discussions cannot progress if Congress simply fails to complete our work on standard short-term funding, and the basic functions of government end up being taken hostage. So, Mr. President, a vote against a standard short-term funding measure is a vote against paying over $1 billion in salary for Border Patrol and ICE agents working to track down lethal fentanyl and tame our open borders, letting FEMA's disaster relief fund dry up is not a productive way to advocate for victims of disasters. Letting small businesses' loan applications collect dust is not a productive way to help working Americans contend with Washington Democrats' historic inflation. Shutting down the government isn't an effective way to make a point.
Here, and this is from Democratic Congressmember Ted Lieu. Want to know how crazy Republicans are? Want to know what crazy amendments the GOP made us vote on today? Defund the director of Division of Risk Management at the FDA, defund the director of Office of Compliance at the FDA, defund the director of Office of New Drugs at FDA. MAGA GOP wants zero regulation of risky new drugs, while at the same time they want to defund any funding to combat COVID because they're totally anti-vax. At the same time, they want to defund the DOJ, defund the FBI, defund the IRS, defund the Department of Education. They want to destroy our government. They want to bring it down and then blame it on President Biden. That's their plan. But I just want to show you in their own words what it is they're saying. Oh, and by the way, here's Marjorie Taylor Greene and amendments passed to cut the salary of the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin. And as Ron Filipkowski says, it's not the first time a white woman from Georgia demanded a black man work for free. And this is what they're spending their time on. Their efforts are transparent. It's despicable. And we're seeing it unfold right here. We got to keep calling it out, folks, and saying it, just saying what it is. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers thanks to your support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Have a great day.
Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.